Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Key here from Cmon the Hoop Celtic. If this is your first time coming across the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10k. Thumbs up or the comment below will be crucial as well. More comments, the better as well it is. I'm going to talk about the game last night. I'm going to talk about Lee Griffiths' situation. I'm going to talk about Scott Bain's contract and about the game tonight for the Dons. Even though it's a Celtic channel, but we still have to talk about it anyways. So let's kick it off. What a result last night against Hibs. You know, we knew we were going into a tough game against a good Hibe's team. They were beating them for 5 games in the league. They won their first 2 under Sean Maloney. But the talk of the street is Rio Hatate's midfield performance. He was just absolutely magical. You know, spraying the ball, he's tracking back, his distribution of the ball, he's tracking down. Oh, it's just unbelievable. One of the best debuts I've seen from a player. Like, he just settled into that team. No problem last night. And you got to look at it in a bigger aspect. If he keeps that form up, I know it's only 1 game. I'm not getting carried away. But I obviously been studying this player for the last 2 months before he signed for Celtic. And he's a versatile player. He's a utility player. You know, he can play him left back. He can play left wing. But looking at last night, we do need him in that midfield. 100%. Him, Callum and Rogic. You know, people are criticising saying Rogic didn't have the greatest game. But he provided an assist. It's the off-the-ball work that counts, especially with pressing. And he done a lot of that last night, Tom Rogic. Even tracking back, I was impressed with him. So Hatate, fingers crossed, he keeps that position. It could be different, obviously, if Callum's absent. Beaton was slotting there, and then Hatate was staying in that position with Rogic, or it could be Turnbull and Hatate. Look, it's great to have options. It's great to have players that have quality as well. And he got the man of the match, and he was outstanding. And I'm delighted from Hatate as well. He took his goal quite well. 3 minutes into his Celtic career, scores, and you could see it. There's a picture of him looking to take it in Celtic Park before the game as well. Absolutely class, just class. What a man! Like, he's the pace of the both of them were outstanding last night. It was good to see Gucci come on as well, make his debut. But the positives, it was good to get back some players that might be missing over the last 6 weeks. Giakoumakis, Jota, Jamesy. Some people weren't happy with Jamesy playing on the left wing. There was stages in the game he did go off to the right, and Abada tried to go more central, but it was a performance that we should be happy with. Some people were disappointed that it wasn't a 4 or 5, and I was one of them. At half time, I was like, we should be blasting his way. But look, it's the 3 points. It's a crucial game tonight in the league for Aberdeen. Scott Brown's Aberdeen. Scott Brown and Aberdeen were robbed against Rangers at Ibrox with that penalty incident towards the end of the game. And I believe that Aberdeen could beat Rangers tonight. No question about it. As far as I know, it's on Sky Sports as well. So I'll be putting the Aberdeen sheep on tonight. Definitely boosting for them, because at the moment the gap is 3 points. If we can keep that gap at 3 points and keep winning our games going into the game in February 2nd, never know what's going to happen. So fingers crossed for Aberdeen. Let's talk about Scott Bain. 30 years of age. He's been Celtic's number 2 since 2018. And look, he's been done a decent job. He came in, done his medical in a Hibs tracksuit. He was on loan at Hibs at the moment from Dundee FC. And his debut was against Rangers. That iconic 3-2 game. That jersey behind me pulled off some crucial saves, you know. And he was a massive part of our treble team as well. And he played a lot of last season as well, the second part of last season. He's an alright number 2 to have. He's had 74 games for Celtic. He's won multiple honours. And I think he's more going to be like a Saluska. You know, plays a couple of cup games. If Joe Hart's injured, you stick him in. He's not a bad number 2 to have. And he really isn't. And I felt with Celtic fans yesterday on social media voicing their opinion on the Celtic page, saying, why him? Because I'd rather Scott Bain than Barkas. I'd rather Scott Bain than Hazard. I think Hazard hasn't had enough first team football to make me feel comfortable with him. Look, I know he's a Northern Ireland international and he plays for them, but he's stuck in a gutter at the moment where he has a choice to go out on loan if there's offers there, be sold, go somewhere else, because he's had to come through the Celtic Academy. You know, he's been there a good few years. He's obviously learned under the ropes of Fraser Foster as well and Craig Gordon, so he has experience in there dealing with keepers good quality keepers. I'd like to see him going along to the Championship in England if it's possible. If anyone's interested in him, we see Doolan out on loan at Tranmere at the moment. I think Doolan will be probably sold to them. Can't see him ever getting first team football for Celtic. Young Toby, the beekeeper, he was on the bench last night, so I'm excited about him. He's an under 19 England international as well. Well, with Barkas, he has to go out on loan and then sold at the end of the season. If an offer comes for him in January to be sold, just take a Celtic, just take it. But Bain, he's an alright number 2 to have, and he's, besides Hart, he would be my number 2. And Ange sees something in him. I think fans are just gone over the top with this decision. He's obviously they're giving Taylor a new contract, he gave Ralston a new contract, and he's giving Bain. So he sees a potential in these Scottish boys. So I'm delighted for Scott Bain. He's been a decent servant for the club. He's come in, he's done a decent job in majority of the games he's played. The only thing about Scott Bain is I feel like when it comes to coming out for the ball, he's not that confident, but he's a great shot stopper. A cracking shot stopper. So even with the distribution of the ball, his feet, he's not bad. I just think him and Joe Hart need to work on that. With Stevie Woods, definitely need to work on that. So let's see what happens there. Regards to Lee Griffiths' future, Ange told Sky Sports News last night that Lee will be starting a new chapter in his life. So both parties, Celtic and Lee, have departed. It's completely done. Now, I don't know why Celtic haven't announced this yet, or even announced it. I'll probably just wait until the end of the season. But he's finished at Celtic. He won't be returned to Celtic. And I've done a video on this if you want to have a look at the video. It's about 7 minutes long talking about Lee Griffiths' career at Celtic. But I wish him the very best. And he made it clear last night and to the media that he won't be coming back, and he'll be remembered by Celtic fans for what he done on the pitch. As I said, stop thinking about what he's done off the pitch. You just go to just type in Lee Griffiths goals and look at all the cracking goals he scored, over 100 of them there. So yeah, some people find that he was a waste of talent, and some people find that he was treated harshly, but he was his own enemy at times, some people felt. But I wish him the very best. I really do. As I've said many times on this channel, I was very hypocritical towards him. I really was, because I looked at the times where we were struggling for a striker and he wasn't fit or he wasn't ready, But let's see, he gets his career back on track and he gets himself sharp, banging goals in, because he's only has 2 goals this season. And thanks for the service, Lee. So there's not much transfer news, folks. Ange kind of just literally put the nail in the coffin in it. They're saying that they're not looking at many players and they're not in talks with anyone at the moment. So unless something drastically happens with injuries, he's going to probably have to go back in the market. But regards to the Asian market, we've done a good bit of business so far. Bring Koyogo in, it started towards the end of the summer. Maeda, Hatate, Gucci, we've done a bit of good business. Johnny Kenny as well from League of Ireland. So I would not be surprised to be 1 or 2 more signings, but there has to be a couple of outgoings. We need to see Balangoli go, Barkas go, perhaps Hazard go out, Montgomery go on loan. Mikey Johnson, I'm still on the fence. I would like to see him go on loan to Hibs or Aberdeen, somewhere like that. But Urugidi has to stay. So yeah, that's really it from me. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you as well. Subscribe to the channel and I'll speak to you all soon. Hello.